I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. What is up? It's Whitney, bro. This is my first video back. I had an eye injury. You can kind of see this one. It looks a little bit smaller than this one because it's still in recovery, basically. So don't judge in the comments talking about one of my eyes is smaller than the other one. I know it is, okay? Thank you. This video is going to be a little bit different from normal content on my channel just because my makeup is already done. So there's not a whole lot of that I can do. I injured my eye about a week ago, and it really just threw off my entire upload schedule. It's been about a week and a half now, actually. I had a lot of cool content planned to film and post in December, but that unfortunately is not going to happen now because of said eye injury. So this is going to be a life update slash talking to you about my brushes because that's what I'm doing. So you can watch it or you can not. And either way is fine. Backstory, I injured my eye initially a little over a year ago in 2023. It was like late August, early September. And I had what they call a corneal abrasion, or that's what they diagnosed it as at the time. Fast forward year and some odd months later, it re-aggravated that injury. I'm supposed to be telling you details and I'm it. Anyway, the cold weather where I live and the dryness in the air and the dryness in my apartment because of the heat, those things together with not having enough water in my diet, too much screen time, and prolonged reading, because I got my library card, I'm back into reading again. But, like, it's a trend. Anyway, all of those things I just mentioned re-aggravated that injury and unfortunately caused it to occur again. So it's called a recurring corneal erosion, I believe is the diagnosis that I've gotten for it now, where basically I just have to baby my eye. I have to put a lot of eye drops in it. When this happened to me last year, I really wasn't posting content, so it really didn't matter in that regard, but it made me very afraid to get back into doing eyeshadow again. So if my next couple of videos I don't have a whole lot of eyeshadow on, that's what's going on, and I just wanted to mention it in a video so that nobody thought it was anything else, or, you know, why is she avoiding why is she avoiding eyeshadow? So yeah, without further ado, that's the updatey part of the video. Let's go ahead and jump on into my favorite brushes. My first favorite brush, and it is one of my favorite brushes of all time. I literally have 3 of them. This one got stained. This is the Sigma Detail Blending. It's the E27. I always joked if I ever got to the point where I could be big enough or have a big enough following to have a Sigma influencer set that they do, I've always joked that it would literally just be 5 of these, because this is one of the most versatile brushes. It can pack on pigment, but it can really get into those areas and blend where you need just small detail blending, like it said, but it's still good in the crease to do, you know, major laying down of pigment. I love these brushes. This brush, it's only one. I just have multiple, but it's so good. Words aren't coming to me because my brain's just like, it's good. Duh. My next favorite eye brush, it is dirty, so don't judge it. This was actually from the last video that I posted. The Thanksgiving Glam is what this brush is dirty from. So this is a Sigma E35. It is very old. This is all chipped off. But again, this is from me leaving it and probably getting it in water. The other brushes hold up a lot better because I've treated them better. But this is such a good all over the crease type of blender. Just lays pigment down really well, really quickly. And again, there's just a lot of good things that I can say about it. Next up, we have the Precision Firm blender. That's the E42 from Sigma. I have 2 of these. This is the same, not the same. When you need a blending brush that doesn't give very easily, but is small, that is the perfect, I find it perfect for this area right in here, and just really getting in and getting those smaller detailed areas that this may not be the exact right shape for. So shout out to Sigma, they know how to make brushes, and it's not a Sigma ad, I promise. They don't know who the fuck I am. So another one of my favorite brushes is actually from e.l.f., and they look like this. They are kind of like domed pencil, but they're rounder than a pencil brush typically is. But it's called the Eye Crease Brush. I think the maximum this costs, depending on where you buy it, is about $3. I do believe I paid less than that for these, but they are an excellent brush to have in your kit if you're professional, or to just have if you're doing your own makeup at home. They are versatile in that they can pack on pigment, but they can also blend it really well. Face brushes, I have a lot more to talk about, and I'm just going to go kind of rapid fire, say what I usually use the brush for. First brush that I use every day, I adore this brush, is the Sigma Multitasker F47. I love this brush. I use it mainly for foundation, but the thing I love about it is it's tapered enough up here that you can use this for concealer as well. I imagine you could use it for contour, blush, whatever you like. Like I said, I prefer to use it for foundation, so I don't like to get it in my other color products so that I'm not accidentally putting blush all over my face. So, but it is a fantastic brush. It's very densely packed and blends foundation beautifully. Next up, I'm going to talk about a concealer brush. And what I use for concealer is the Sigma F64. Again, I know this sounds like a Sigma ad. I know it does, but I promise they do not know who I am. I gotta put in big bold letters, not sponsored, because it's not at all. I just really love Sigma. But this brush is very versatile because it does have a very nice taper to it, so you can use the very pointed edge to initially place your product in a more precise in a more precise way, and then you can use the sides of the brush to really get in and blend that product out. And it's just a great brush. I have yet to find a concealer or eye corrector formula that does not work well with this. Just plays well with others. And next up is the bronzing blush. My bronzer blush. Bronzer brush. Bronzing. Depending on the type of bronze that I'm doing, I have a few different favorites that I will reach for. So these are, the gang's all here. So this is a Marc Jacobs brush called the Bronze. I don't think they make this anymore because I think Marc Jacobs Beauty doesn't exist. I actually got this as a gift from my best friend. Shout out Alexis. And if I'm just trying to get a quick all over the forehead, very not precise, I'm not gonna say messy because I don't like to use that word when it comes to makeup, but just a very quick, not precisely placed pigment, I love to use this brush. I tend to use it more with bronzers that are a little bit closer to my skin tone because they're a little bit more forgiving as to how they're able to blend out. And then next I have, this was a Morphe brush, but it's completely rubbed off now. I think it was from their vegan set, but it's just an angled cheek brush. It has some density down here, but then it does give up here. And I really like this to chisel out my cheekbones. It just makes it nice and easy because it's already shaped that way for you. And when I want kind of a mixture of that brush and the first brush, I go for this one, which technically I think is a powder blush. How many times am I saying blush instead of brush in this video? Let's put a counter up here or something, because I'm pissing myself off. That brush is the Flower Beauty F03. I have actually had this since my last year of high school, which was actually got this for Christmas in 2010. So she is old. They may not make her anymore, but if you take care of your brushes, you know what I'm saying? But basically it's kind of a denser packed powder brush, I think is what the initial use for this was. But see how it's not giving when I'm pushing on it, but then it does have some give when you do circular motion. So this is kind of a happy medium in between the chisel brush and the large all over bronze brush. I have one for when I like to do more direct, detailed, usually when I'm trying to use a bronzer as a contour, and that is this brush. You can see how it does still have that nice angle, but it's smaller and a little denser and doesn't really give in any direction. And that is from the Mange 51239. It's a set you can get off Amazon. It doesn't have its own number. That might be the number for the set, but yeah. All right, so for brushes, okay. So for blush brushes, I have 5. I have more than that, but again, these are my favorites. There is the Luxie Round Top Blender 532, and this is very densely packed, really doesn't give a whole lot. I love using this with cream blushes, specifically ones that are in a pan, not like a stick cream blush. This brush I specifically use. This is another one from the Mange set. I'm saying Mange. That's probably not how you say that. Mange. Anyway, and I specifically use this for my e.l.f. putty blush because it is the only brush I have found that makes that blush usable. So, but I felt like it should be an honorable mention at least in the video because I do use it quite often. And I imagine it'd be really good with other cream blushes. I just really use it specifically when I use that one. So maybe I should try it out. Whatever. Next up is a brush from a Beaky brush set. Do I have the box? I got the box somewhere. From this brush set. The Glam Blend Tap Paw Glam brush. Advanced makeup brush set. But this, I think they indicate you to use it for like, I don't know if it's indicated to use for blush, but I really do enjoy it for blush. It has a nice taper to it, and it does give more at the top, but if you're stippling on the sides, it doesn't give as much. So we love her. Next up is a Juno & Co. Does that brand even exist anymore? I don't think these brushes do, if that brand does still exist. This is a brush I've had since like 2017 at least. And I like it for the same reasons I like the Beaky. It does have a nice taper here to where if you want to get a more intense pigment up here, but then you can kind of feather out that pigment along the sides. And this specific one, I do have one that is clean. This specific one is dedicated to my orange blushes because I use orange blush a lot. And lastly, for blush brushes, I have the Firma Beauty 103, and this is just an angled cheek brush. Same thing where it has denser packed bristles here, but then it does also give a little at the top for that seamless blend. I love to use this with cream products that either come with a doe foot applicator or come in a tube. I just find this type of brush with a little bit more give applies those kind of products better for me. For powder, I am very simple. I usually typically either will go in with a powder puff or the BB 101 from Beauty Bay. This is my favorite brush for powder because it gives the perfect amount, but then it does still have that integrity to where it's not flopping all over the place. You get what you need to out of it. And same with the powder puff. The powder puff, mainly I use it under my eyes. I don't really use a powder puff to set my whole face. And it does just depend on the season. Right now that it's the winter, I'm not using this as much, but in the summer, this gets a lot of use on my under eyes and around my nose. And that's the e.l.f. powder puff. Lastly, for my favorite brushes, we're going to talk about highlighting brushes. And I have two that I really love. One is the SL Miss Glam L36, and it looks like this, kind of a smaller tapered top. And then I have the BB 105 from Beauty Bay, which is this nice larger domed. And the reason I have two instead of just having one favorite, this one I specifically use with highlighters that have glitter in them, so that way I'm not getting it in the brush. You know, I don't want to have just one designated highlighter brush, because then if it's a day where I'm not feeling glitter and I don't want glitter on my face, I don't have to worry about that glitter being in the brush because it's in this one. See the glittery handle? You know, you get it. And on those days where I do want something more glow from within, natural looking, I do go for this brush because it tends to lay down those type of products a little bit better. I think the larger surface area would just look weird with more glittery highlighters. I just noticed that the word pixels is spelled wrong on my camera. I bought it off TikTok Shop, so, you know, it says pixels. Anyway, I just needed to film this first video back and kind of trudge my way through it. All my videos aren't going to be like this. I knew that I was going to stumble through it a little bit, and for that reason is why I chose to not have it be a video of me actually applying or doing makeup, because I don't want to come off like I'm stumbling through that. I do want to talk a little bit about things that I have planned for this channel in the future. I am still going to be doing makeup. Don't worry about that. I really do want to get more into creating vlog content, not lifestyle, because I hate how every person that does makeup is like, lifestyle, fashion. I don't want to do either of those. That does not sound like anything I want to do. I mainly just want to do like a day in the life type of things like that. Just something that is a little bit more me and less only makeup. I want there to be a good conjunction of the two, to where you get a feeling like you're getting to know me for more than just makeup. So you may see some updates to that in the future. And I mainly just wanted to give that disclaimer because I don't want people to think because I'm doing vlogs that all of a sudden that's going to make it so I don't do makeup. Essentially, I'm just going to be putting more Whitney into this channel because it's Whitney Bro. Obviously, if you're here for the makeup, please stay subscribed. I'm going to try to do it in a way that maintains my original schedule of Mondays, Fridays for makeup videos, and maybe have a vlog come out on any other day that isn't Monday or Friday. Ideally Wednesday, but I don't want to stick to that just yet because I don't know that I'm going to have a vlog come out every Wednesday. But basically, if I do post one, it's going to be in addition to the makeup content, not subtracting from the makeup content. So, yeah. Basically, if you've enjoyed this video of me rambling and sounding like an idiot. No. And if you enjoyed learning about what my favorite brushes are, go ahead, give it a big thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, because I lost my own train of thought and I lost myself in this video a little bit. So if you didn't, you're a real one. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!